Hey everybody, welcome back to Crochet by Landry. In this video, we're gonna do the next part of our calendar blanket, and that's gonna be 2 more ornaments. It's gonna be a cup of hot cocoa and Santa. So grab all your Caron Simply Soft yarn that you have for this project, and let's get started making 2 more ornaments for our calendar blanket. Everybody, let's get started making the next 2 ornaments on our calendar blanket. So which ones we're going to make is we're going to make Santa, and then you flip to the next page and we're going to make the hot cocoa as well. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your calendar blanket, of course, because you're going to want to put those ornaments in the little pockets that you stitched on last time. You're going to need white, and you're going to need your Caron Simply Soft yarn. And you're going to need white and red, and the face color, which is, I believe, is the bone color on your pattern for Santa, and a little bit of black for his eyes. You're also going to need, in your Caron Simply Soft for the hot cocoa, you're going to need the colors G and I, which turn out to be, I believe it's the burgundy and the pumpkin. So I'm going to use different colors today just so you can see what I'm doing. But you're going to want to use those colors to make the 2 ornaments we're going to make today. You're also going to need your 5mm hook that we've been using, some scissors, and a yarn needle, and a stitch marker if you need one to keep track of your rows. So once you got your supplies together, let's get started making Santa and a cup of hot cocoa. Okay, so we're going to chain 2 to begin. So let's do it with a slip knot. And do a chain 2 to get yourself started. So 1, 2, and then you're going to put 6 single crochets in that second chain from your hook. So 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and now what you want to do is you're going to join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet that you made. Okay, and chain 1 to start your next round. And then wait for next round is you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, staying at 6 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then what you want to do is just join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet that you made. If your hook needs a little bit of help, then you can just kind of wiggle it in as best as you can. Take your time. There we go. Okay, there we go. And that is the end of round 2. So for round 3, you're going to chain 1. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. So you're going from 6 to 12. And once you've done that, I will meet back with you and we will move on to round 4 together. So if you finished round 3, let's move on to round 4. So for round 4, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, sticking with 12. So let's just go once around, And once you've gone once around, I will meet back with you and we'll move on to round 5. Okay, so for round 5, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 1 single crochet in the first. We're gonna do another increase, 1 in the first, and then 2 in the next. And then we're just gonna repeat that all the way around. So 1 in the next stitch, and then 2 in the stitch after that. And you're gonna be going from 12 to 18 stitches. Once you've gone all the way around, join with a slip stitch to that first single crochet and I'll meet you there. Okay, so for round 6, we're just gonna join with a slip stitch and then chain 1 to begin. And you're gonna do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, staying at 18 stitches. So just put 1 in each around. Should be starting to look like a little beard for Santa. Okay. And once you've gone all the way around, I will meet up with you and we will move on to the next round together. Okay, for round 7, we're gonna kind of start working on Santa's face. So we're gonna chain 1 to begin, and then you're gonna put 1 single crochet in the first. Okay, and then you're gonna put 1 in each of the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, but don't finish the 5. What you want to do now is grab your face color. I'm just going to use another off-white just to show you, because I don't have the bone with me right now. And you're going to finish with your new color. So that way you can start your next stitch with your face color for Santa. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches, but also working over your white yarn, because that way when you're ready to start and pick it up, you can pick up with your other color. So do 6 single crochets in the new color. That's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and then 1 more, which is 6. And again, don't finish that stitch. Drop the face color, pick up your beard color, and finish that stitch with the beard color. And now if you want, you can actually trim your face color. Don't put it to the side, just leave it off to the side for now. We're gonna use it again in a minute. And then you're gonna finish off the round with the next couple of stitches. 2, 3, 4, and 5, last one, and 6. Okay, and you're just going to join with a slip stitch to the beginning of the round. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat that 2 more times. So chain 1, 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 1 in each of the next 5. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, there's 5. Again, don't finish number 5. Grab your face color, just drape it over your hook and finish that single crochet with your new color. Just don't forget to pull your tails so they're tight, so your stitches aren't all loosey-goosey. Okay, and then work over your white tail with your new color and do 6 single crochets in your new color. Okay, so there's 1, I'm just gonna pull some of these tails here to make them a little tighter. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last one, 6. Don't finish it. Change back to the white because you've been working over that tail. Yarn over, pull through those 2 to finish that stitch, and then finish off the round, those remaining 6 remaining stitches in your white. And then join with a slip stitch. And then once you've done that, you can snip your face color. Okay, and then join with a, oops, with a slip stitch and chain 1 to get ready for the next round. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim my face color. I'm actually going to take a second and I'm actually going to go in, turn this a little inside out here, and I'm actually going to take a second and just tie some of these ends into a little bit of a knot and trim them a little shorter so they're not really in my way. That way I'm not getting sidetracked of what yarn I'm working with and what one is. There we go. Turn them in, turn it right side out again. And you can do this when you're done, like tying off all your loose ends or even weaving in your ends if you want. You can kind of just try to stuff them in the bottom so they're not in your way. Or if you are going to trim them, tie them off and then put them off to the side, and then you can use them for stuffing later on. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do that one more time. So do that last row 7 one more time, and then what I'll do is I'll meet you up at the end and we'll start working on Santa's hat. So let's move on to the hat portion of our Santa here. So what you're going to do is you're not going to break off your white yarn. You're going to hang on to it for a little bit. You're going to chain 1 to start your next round. And in this round, in the first round of the hat, you're going to work in only the front loops. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first, but again, only working in the front loops. So the front loops here, so here's your stitch. Okay, and you're going to work in this front loop here, which is the one closest to you, not the back one, okay? Only the first one, which is in the one that's closest to you. So what you're going to do is you're just going to single crochet in that first front loop. Then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Again, only in the front loop. Okay, and then you're going to chain 2, so 1, 2, and then single crochet in the next. Okay, and then repeat it. Chain 2, and then single crochet in that front loop. Okay, you're just going to repeat this all the way around, trying not to miss a stitch. And then once you've gone all the way around, I'll meet you up and we'll work on the red portion of Santa's hat. Okay, I just went all the way around doing that's the pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to break my white yarn because I don't need it right now. Just put it off to the side. I did a slip stitch to join at the beginning round, the first single crochet that we made. Now you're going to chain 1 to close off your round. And you can sew this in later. Now you're going to join with your red yarn. I've already got a slip knot ready to go. And you're going to join with a slip stitch, and you're going to join in the back stitches you didn't use. Now they should be pretty obvious, but you're going to join with a slip stitch to those back ones you did not use. Okay, there we go. And just join with a slip stitch to get yourself started. Okay, and then chain one to begin. Now that red tail, you can kind of tuck that inside the Santa. That way it's not seen. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put one single crochet in each stitch all the way around, in only those back loops. So you're gonna start with one where you joined, and then just one in each all the way around. You should still be at 18 stitches. And once you've gone all the way around, I'll meet you at the end and we'll move on to the next round together. All right, so for round 3, you're gonna chain one to begin. And then again, you're just gonna do one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And then when we come back, I will help you along with round 4. So just finish up round 3 and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so now we're gonna start making it smaller. So what you wanna do is you wanna chain one to begin your next round. You're gonna put one single crochet in that first stitch. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a single crochet, 2 together in the next 2 stitches. So put your hook in, pull up a loop, put your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops. And you're just gonna repeat that all the way around. So one single crochet in the next, and then a single crochet, 2 together, which is called a decrease. So you're gonna do that all the way around to get back to the beginning. Once you get back there, I'll meet you there and we'll move on to the next piece together. Okay, so after the round 4, what you just wanna do is grab a little bit of stuffing and just lightly stuff what you've done so far. That way it kind of keeps its shape. So just lightly stuff your Santa. And you can add a little bit more stuffing as you go along. I think that's good for now. Just put that remainder stuff that you didn't use on the side. And you're gonna chain one and start your next round after joining. And then for round 5, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna go around and do a single crochet in each stitch. Okay, just one in each stitch all the way around. And once you get back to the beginning, I'll meet you there and we'll move on to the last few steps together. So let's move on to the next row. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put just one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. You should have 6 stitches still after that last round. Okay, and then once you get back to the beginning, you're gonna join with a slip stitch. To that first single crochet. And then what we're gonna do for round 8 is we're going to chain one to begin. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do 3 single crochet, 2 togethers. And then once you're done, you can fasten off. So try doing that row on your own, and I'll meet up with you at the end of row 8, and we'll move on and do the loop for Santa's hat. So when you're done, you wanna fasten off and weave in your end, and just weave it in and out of the red part of the hat, and then trim your end so it's not in your way. And then you're gonna take your white yarn and you're just gonna make a slip knot, and this is gonna be the pom-pom on top of the hat. So what you wanna do now is you just wanna chain 9 to begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then here's what you want to do is you just want to fasten off. Don't need much of a tail. Fasten off. And then what you want to do now is you want to sew this onto the top of Santa's hat, because it also acts as a as the loop, so you can hang the ornament on your blanket. Now just doing your best, you pull one end through the hat and then grab the other end. And you're going to do the same thing, except I'm going to go through the opposite side. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to maybe tie it in a knot just to secure it. And then I'm going to take my ends and I'm going to weave them inside our project so they're not seen. So let's see. Let's put them in. Push them inside. Okay. Oh. Or for now, I'm just gonna leave them and I'll weave them in later. But for now, let's push this aside. Grab some black embroidery floss so we can do our face. So what you want to do is grab some yarn, weave it onto your yarn needle, and we'll give Santa some eyes. So I'm just going to go in through the back here and come out where his face should be, which is where you put that different colored yarn. I'm just going to pull out a bit of a strand, leaving a little bit of a tail on the other side so I can sew, tie it in a knot. And I'm just going to go up one stitch and down, come out through another stitch on an angle. I'm going to pull. So then what it's going to look like, it's going to look like he's got a mustache or eyes. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to turn my project upside down, and I'm going to go down maybe one stitch, and pull this across, and then I'm going to go in through the hole right here at the top of the eye, and I'm going to try and come out where I went in for the very first time. Do your best to try to come out the same spot. That way, what you can do is flip your project over. Now, if you tie it in a good knot, I usually double knot it. You can triple knot it if you want, if you're unsure. But I'm just going to double knot it. Then I'm going to trim my ends. And then I'm going to take the back of my yarn needle and I'm just going to push this inside the project. So then it looks like you put on a face, but don't have any ends sticking out. It may take you a minute to... I don't recommend using your yarn hook, your crochet hook, because then it could get caught on your project and that could be annoying. So don't forget to weave in all your ends, and here is our Santa ornament for our calendar blanket. Now let's move on to the second ornament we're going to do, which is the cup of hot cocoa. So you're going to grab your pumpkin colored yarn and your burgundy yellow colored yarn and maybe a little bit of white for some marshmallows. And once you've got all that, let's start our cup of cocoa. All right, so let's get started making our hot cup of cocoa. So the colors you're gonna need, like I said earlier, is you're gonna need pumpkin for your cup color. You're gonna need burgundy for your inside of your drink, and then a little bit of white because we're going to be doing something called French knots. So grab those 3 colors and your 5mm hook and a yarn needle, and let's start making a hot cup of cocoa. So to make your cup of cocoa, what you want to do is grab your pumpkin yarn, and you're going to do a slip knot to begin. And now what you're going to do is you're going to chain 9 to get started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then once you've got your chain of 9, you're going to go in your second chain from your hook, and you're going to go across, and you're going to single crochet in each stitch across, and you'll have 8 single crochets in your row. Okay? Once you've got your next row finished. So for row 2, after you've done your first row, you should have 8 single crochets. For row 2, you're just going to do the same thing. Chain 1, and you're just going to single crochet in each stitch all the way across. Now what you want to do is you want to keep going until your piece measures approximately 2 inches. So you're going to keep repeating row 2 until your piece measures 2 inches. So if you have a measuring tape, that's great. I have one here that I bought at the local dollar store near my house. And once you've measured 2 inches, we can come back and finish off our cup of hot cocoa together. So after your piece measures about 2 inches, we're going to begin the next row. And this is where we're going to start joining in our inside of our cup color. So you're going to chain 1 to begin, turn your work, and what you're going to do is you're going to single crochet in that first stitch. But like we did with Santa, we don't want to finish the stitch. We want to finish it with our new color. So grab your burgundy or the inside of your cup color and finish your single crochet with that color. And we can weave in the ends later when we're finished. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next stitch with our new color. But also making sure you're also working over your pumpkin color, because that way, when we get to the end, we can just resume as normal. So do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Then you're going to do 1 half double crochet in the stitch after that. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop. You have 3 on your hook, pull through all 3 of those loops. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over again. You're going to do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, then yarn over, pull through 2, then yarn over, pull through 2. And then you're going to do 1 more of those in the next stitch. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do another half double crochet in the stitch after that. Okay, and then 1 single crochet in the stitch after that. And don't finish it with your cup color. You're going to finish it with the orange color. That way you're changing back to your original color. And then finish off with the orange and single crochet in that last stitch with your pumpkin color. And there we have it. We did the inside of our cup color. Now we're going to go off to the next round of what you're going to do in a second. Okay, so for the next round, what you're going to do is you're not going to chain. You're just going to turn your work. And in the back loops only, you're just going to do a slip stitch straight across. So just do 1 slip stitch in each, all the way across. So that way, kind of doing the top of our cup, making it look like there's something yummy in our cup, or something yummy in our cup for Santa, because Santa needs his cup of cocoa or hot chocolate before he goes So 1 slip stitch in each. You should have 8 slip stitches. There we go. And what you want to do now is you're going to fasten off, trim your yarn. And I'm not really going to worry about all these little tails. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this piece aside and I'm going to start a second piece. So I'm going to do a slip knot to begin. And I'm going to chain 9 like we did before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch like we were doing. So I have 8. And we're going to make sure it matches up to the other piece. It has to be the same width, so that way we can sew them together. So just make it 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So you should have 8 stitches by the end of your first row. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat what you did for your first piece here, is just chain 1, turn your work, and do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across, back and forth, until your piece works up to 2 inches. And once you've reached your 2 inches, we'll go on to the next row and do the remaining piece and the handle together. All right, so for the next row, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 to begin. We're going to put 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. Now we're working on the back of our cup. So now we're going to do is 1 half double crochet in the next. Then we're going to put 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1. That's 2. And then 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. And then 2 single crochets in the last 2 stitches. There we go. Just like that. Next row, what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch in the back, just no chaining, just slip stitch in the back loops only, all the way across. That way it matches what we did on the previous piece of our cup that we did. Now remember that the back loop is the loop furthest away from you. It's not the one closest, it will be the one farthest from you. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make the handle portion of our cup. So what you want to do is fasten off, trim your yarn. And now for the handle portion, you're going to start with your pumpkin color, do a slip knot and chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then what you want to do is 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then 3 single crochets in the next chain. So that's 3 stitches in 1, 2, and 3. And then 1 single crochet in the next 2 chains. So then 1 and 2, and then 3 single crochets in the next chain like we did. So we're just going to mirror what we just did. 2 and 3, and then 1 in the last stitch, or in last chain, I'm sorry. There we go. And then what you want to do now is just fasten off and do that by chaining 1. Now maybe leave a little bit of a tail. So we're gonna sew it on to our project, not too long. Okay, just like this. Okay, there's our mug handle. And now what you want to do is take a second, weave in all your ends, and once you have all the loose ends that we don't need weaved in, that way they're not in your way when you sew your handle onto your project, and finish off our cocoa cup together. So once you've got your however many marshmallows you want to put in your cup, I'm only going to put 2, that's fine with me. I'm just going to trim this a little bit. Actually, I'm going to tie it off first. So I usually just double knot it in the back, that way it doesn't get loose on me and nothing falls apart. And I'm going to trim my end. I'll just place these inside, and then once we sew everything together, it won't be seen. So now to put everything together, you're going to make sure the slip stitched parts are facing outwards, like that. And then you're going to take your handle and place it, kind of sandwich it in between as best as you can. And with your yarn needle, what you're going to do is you're going to kind of start stitching everything together. So just going in and out of your project. Put that in a second. There. So just kind of have to hold it in place and making sure you go through all of your pieces. If you have to pull your pieces apart slightly to make sure you're going through them, then that's good. Okay. And you're gonna stitch all the way around, all 4 sides, as well as going through the mug and the handle. Okay. And just take your time. There's no rush. Making sure you're going through both the mug and the handle pieces so everything stays nice and secure and doesn't go anywhere. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to keep going, sewing this together. And once I'm done, I'll meet up with you and we will make the little loop so we can hang our ornament on our blanket. Okay, so once you've finished sewing your cocoa cup together, what you're gonna do is we're gonna make the little loop so we can hang it on our tree, on our blanket. So you're gonna chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Trim your yarn. Pull your end through. Feed it onto your yarn needle and find whatever corner you want it on. I'm going to put it this back corner here. I'm just going to pull one of these tails through. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. Okay, I'm going to tie them in a little knot. Maybe double knot it so it doesn't come loose. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to weave in the tails so they're not being seen. There's one. Do the other one. Just like this. All I'm going to do now is just going to trim as close to my project as I can get. There's our cup of cocoa. And that's it for today, everybody. We made a Santa and a cup of cocoa for our calendar blanket this year. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button and the notification bell. And don't forget, leave me a comment if there's any kinds of videos you want to see, or if you want to see more market videos, just let me know in the comments. And see you next week, everybody. Bye.